All right, so this pattern of threats, harassment, stonewalling, gaslighting, catfishing, that does drive a person fucking crazy. I can attest to that. When Natalie Bollinger died, that established a reputation for me that was not earned and undeserved. I was trying to get help the entire time. And then these people want to hide, knowing that I was trying to get help that entire time, knowing that I had gone to them for help and they had done nothing. They had given me pretty words that were not stopping the violence. Some people knew more than others. It depends on how much they talked. If it was a pretty blonde haired, blue eyed white girl, chances are she's going to be throwing a bunch of pretty memes she read on Facebook at me for hours on end. It's not useful. With Laura Nelson, she knows quite a bit. She knows more than most. There are a lot of dead people, okay? A lot of them. When Selena Not Afraid disappeared, people wanted to threaten and harass and intimidate me and manufacture stories up there about how I've been up there with a buddy of mine and she had to throw herself out of my vehicle and shit like that. I don't mean Selena Not Afraid. I mean another woman up there who heard about the Selena Not Afraid thing. Of course she would. I felt it was important for everyone to know. I had spoken out about Hardin, Montana after a visit there a few years ago. I made a video called The Missing Women of Hardin, Montana. When that happened with Selena Not Afraid, that video blew up. There were like 14,000 views in like 2 or 3 days. And then people started accusing me of being some sort of a monster again, going back to the Natalie Bollinger situation. I didn't stalk Natalie Bollinger. I was stalked by her and her friends. And the evidence does show that. Her and her druggy ex, Tim Beeson, and her sister, Alicia Bollinger, and their friend, Maddie Boa. Bunch of druggies. Same thing with Ted Bollinger. Actual druggies. Going out of their way to make my life a living hell and then playing victim. Threatening my life and then grabbing firearms to literally do so. And people want to pretend that things that I did, like having to walk from Ken and Leah's on South Zuni, going to Federal, which is extremely close, it's like a block away, and then walking all the way up Federal. When I get to 120th, I take a right, go to Melody, take a left, and I'm at Miss Peach's house. It's a fast, quick walk. I had no fucking clue where Natalie lived. She was fucking paranoid. And why wouldn't she be? She was on fucking drugs and surrounded by druggies. The same environment that she was hoping that when she went to Virginia to see her mother, that she would be able to get rid of that life. She was trying to improve her life, and they were driving her to do more drugs. That is one of the major risks with drug use. When Christine Muheet died, this guy Mike wants to get a hold of me. Basically, he's trying to insinuate that I must have done something to Christine. No, I don't fuck with drugs. I don't fuck with Colorado. I avoid it like the goddamn plague. But really, where else is there to go? Anywhere that you go, they want you to move along just because you're homeless. The only places that homeless people have is sometimes they can go to their hometown and see some old friends. Sometimes. But they don't stick around long because they know what's going to happen. They know how people are going to treat them. So, of course, with Selena Not Afraid and people getting onto that thing, and how do you know so much about all these missing Native Americans? Well, I was up there, and a lot of people were sharing their stories. People like Henny Scott and Frida Nose's gun. Frida Nose's gun disappeared from Washington State on her way to Hardin, Montana, on the very last day I ever saw Natalie Bollinger. You know how I remember that? It was my birthday, October 18th, 2016. It was my birthday. When Alicia Bollinger disappeared and pulled all that bullshit with her dad going through multiple states. High-speed chase through multiple states. That was Alicia Bollinger and her dad on my birthday in 2019. Happy birthday to me, right? And when she disappeared, not once, but 3 separate times, this was the 3rd time that she had disappeared. Bobby Forrest got a hold of me to say she was missing. And all 3 times I posted up about her being missing. I made videos about her missing. And guess what? People wanted to threaten my life over Alicia Bollinger. I do have to be afraid of these people. They're not just on the internet. Tim Beeston has a gun and knives in real life. Ted Bollinger has shown repeatedly that even though he is a felon, a multiple-time felon, who can't stay off the fucking meth, he has been busted with an illegal firearm since Natalie's death, and methamphetamines on multiple occasions. That high-speed chase, 18 grams of methamphetamines. And they keep on letting him out? They keep on letting him go? How sick is that? So every time that somebody goes missing or dies, people want to blame it on me. When I called the FBI, the Montana FBI and the Hardin Police Department and all them places, and I recorded them on my channel, when I made those phone calls, there was a reason for it. If people are going to accuse me and start coming after me, if you're going to look at every fucking lead, then by all means, look at every lead. I'll give you everything that you need. But you guys have no idea how scary that is for me. I don't mean scared for my personal well-being. I'm talking about scared for the well-being of my friends and loved ones. And these people keep telling me they can't do nothing about it. Usually they say things like, well, we can't do nothing unless the victim comes forward. Well, the victim did come forward to me. In many cases. In some of these cases, the predators themselves told me the things that they did. I recorded that too. So I've got it recorded. I've got the evidence. Was Selena not afraid? I was in this house when she went missing. When I found out about her, it was from another lady posting up about Selena not afraid from Hardin, Montana, and I went, I know that town. I have been to that town. They have a lot of fucking missing people in that area. They have so many missing people from the area that I actually made a video specifically about Hardin, Montana. When people go missing and I see the missing persons posters, I post them up on here too. If I'm stuck with a bunch of legal bullshit, I don't spend as much time doing that, and it's a damn shame. It'd be nice if I could get all this legal bullshit all out of the way, get my fucking name cleared, be able to show that shit in court. They literally made it impossible for me to do myself. All this court stuff, it's just one railroading after another. I don't get to show any evidence. I don't get to turn in anything. Nothing. It's like I don't fucking exist. And they take whatever they want completely out of context, and the judge will let them. Hobos don't count as people. Disabled homeless men, well, it doesn't matter if they're disabled, they're homeless, so nobody cares about them. They're men, so people especially don't care about them. I don't like racist laws. I'm going to say that right off. Making it a race thing. There are millions of broke white people who are going through the same goddamn system. Making it more illegal to do something to a black person. Well, it's illegal to begin with. It's already illegal. What they're doing there is detracting from the real issue. Racism is part of the much bigger issue of divide and conquer. However, the issue at hand, such as police violence, it should be wrong no matter who they do it to. Am I wrong? Am I incorrect about that? The law says that it's illegal no matter who they do that to. Am I wrong? Am I incorrect about that? Police committing them crimes against me is just as illegal as them committing those crimes against Zaid Atkinson and Sammy Leon Lawrence IV. But who helped me get the body cameras? Why did they drop the charges with me? These other people were able to get lawyers and were able to get access to the body cameras, and the news cared. So the news made sure to get a hold of their body cameras. But nobody tried that in my case, did they? They intentionally sold a false narrative and intentionally withheld evidence, and that's across the board. Now, there's a lot of dead people, and I did not kill a single one of them. But I have to worry that my friends or my family might be retaliated against because some nut job out there thinks I'm a fucking serial killer. Because some mother or father has a bunch of hatred because their fucking kid went missing. And they think that killing somebody like me will make them feel better. Or they think that by going after my friends and my family, that it's going to shut me up. The whole time I was locked up, I was talking. I never go a day without speaking up, ever. The only way to affect change is to be the change. How can I ask others to speak up for me if I won't speak up for them? If they don't speak up for me, I am easy to victimize. And all these people were afraid to do so. Or they tried in these Facebook groups and were threatened, harassed, and intimidated, and then got to hear and see what happened to me. No, they don't want that happening to them. What I need is a monitored facility 24 hours a day. I cannot take care of myself. If you put me in an assisted living program, that would work. Anywhere that I go, it needs to be long term, and people need to know where I'm at all times. If people know that I'm in an assisted living program and that I've got a registered nurse coming by and checking on me every hour, let's say, for example, that I was put in a facility like that in Scottsbluff or in North Platte or in Gearing or in Omaha or Lincoln. I really don't want to live in a big city, but or any city for that matter. But you know what? There's a certain level of acceptability. If I'm in a nursing facility and I'm at that facility 24/7 and I never leave, let's pick North Platte, for example. If I'm in North Platte, it takes more than an hour to get anywhere out of state, except Colorado on the eastern end. So that means that anybody who goes missing, they know that it wasn't me. And if they know that it wasn't me, they're not going to go after my friends. They're not going to go after my family and say, see, see, which they try to do every time. And in every one of these situations, I was doing the right thing. With Natalie Bollinger, the right thing to do was to try to find her at the very beginning. But people were too busy looking at me to look for Natalie. You say that's my fault? You know what? I had gone to all of the people and all of the places that you are supposed to go to for help when you were being threatened, harassed, stalked, and intimidated, when you were being assaulted. But nobody's going to listen to a disabled homeless male. And with the police, threatening people with children, harassing people with children, intimidating people with children who tried to help me. Yes, I speak up about it. Yes, I save the proof. Yes, I speak up about it. Yes, I speak up about it. And it is not against the law for me to do so.